In this section, we're going to be talking about bending the front of the frame. First thing you're going to need to do is get your jig, and you're also grab your piece of rubber or plastic that goes underneath the jig. You place that down on the table just like that, put your jig on top. Next, you're going to grab your clamp, undo the clamp, and you're going to clamp the jig to the table. You'll notice on this side of the jig there's a hole here. That's where that clamp goes. It goes right in there just like that, and then you clamp it down to the table. So watch me here and I will do that. And there you go. So the jig is nice and tight on the table, not going to move around while you're bending it. Next you want to do is get a piece of the frame wire out of your frame box. We're going to find the center of the wire. You can do that two ways. First way is you can put it along this side of the jig where this piece of metal is. That length, you put the wire inside, and right along the length of that, right here, the end of this is where the center of the wire is. So you can grab it right there, or if you want to, you can put it in the metal piece of the jig at the end here and balance it, and that's also the center. It doesn't have to be exact, just approximate. So once you find the center of the wire, you place it in this first notch of the jig, and then you're going to take it and you're going to bend these two pieces of wire all the way to the left 90 degrees. So just like this, and make sure also you're under that pin. And to make those bends very, very straight, I usually take the pliers and we're going to squeeze it just like that. One of the things I want to say at this point as we make our first bends is you always want to make sure your bends are very tight. Don't ever grab your wires way out and try to bend them like this, because what that does is it creates very round bends, not sharp bends. And it's not good for the glasses, and they're not going to turn out very well. So it takes a little bit more effort to grab the wire up close and bend it really, really tight so you have those sharp bends, but it's worth it. All right, so what we're going to do now is we're going to take the bender. It's a piece of wood. It's got little screws all over it. You can see here, tiny ones everywhere, and those are all put in there for a specific purpose. What we're going to do now is specifically we want to pay attention to the little hole here on the end and that tiny little screw. So we got the little hole and that tiny screw, and we're going to take this piece of metal right here and we're going to put it in that hole, just like that. And then we're going to see this piece of the piece of wire. We're going to bend it 180 degrees all the way around. Twist it just like this. All right. We're going to do the same thing to the other side. So we'll push this piece of metal here all the way out, and we're going to put it in this small hole, and then we're going to make that 180 degree bend all the way around. Should do it. Usually I just take the pliers and just push them under there and gets it off just like that. Okay? Next thing you want to do is underneath this area right here, you see there's two little notches. They're on both sides of the jig. So we're going to take this right here with this curve up, and we're going to insert it right into that area, and then you bend your wires out. Remember, keep it tight, keep those bends really tight. You're going to put them out just like that, and you pull it out, and it should look something like this. Next, grab your pliers, put it in. Make sure when you're putting it in your pliers, it's not in the tapered part, and it's not in this part right here. You'll notice that's going to cut your wire, and you don't want to do that right now, this circular part. So make sure it's right in that little area where it's flat. You're going to grab it, and you're going to bend it all the way to where it's straight. Put it on the other side, and do it the other side just so, and make sure, let's see here. So you should have something that looks just like that. So all the way across, just so, just straight, very nice. And then next thing you're going to do is you're going to take your the front of the nose piece. This is the nose piece, just like that in the front, and you're going to put it right back where you had it before, in that little area underneath this metal piece, and you're going to bend this side. Do not bend this side, just the left side that you're facing the jig. You're going to do just like this, and like I said before, don't grab it out here. You want to grab it up really close and make sure that bend is really nice and sharp. Pull it out, flip it over just like that. You're going to same thing. Put that nose piece right underneath that piece of metal, and you're going to do the other side. Nice sharp bends. So then you got something that looks like that. You'll notice, I'll kind of hold it out to the camera here. So we got an area that's here nice and straight, and this area right here that sticks out, that's your nose piece. I'm going to put them on so you can kind of get an idea of where we're at, okay? So next thing we're going to do is we're going to take the metal, make sure your nose piece right here is facing up. So facing up, and your two wires here are facing to your left, and you're going to put it right in. This area right here is going to go right in that first notch again, and you're going to get it underneath that pin, okay? So what we're going to do now is we're going to take our wooden bender again, and we're going to use that to make those bends that I showed you just a second ago. This little hole here, we're going to take that and put this metal piece in it just like we did before, and get that screw right underneath that wire. You want to hold this down right here to make sure that you keep this bend nice and straight. So hold this side down, and then we're going to twist it around just like so, all the way around. And then now what you want to do is you want to pull that out just like that, and we're going to do the opposite side. Push that toggle over just like that, and then same thing, this little hole here is going to go right here, and put that screw underneath that wire like we did on the other side, and we'll hold this down actually like this so you can see it, and twist that 180 degrees all the way around, and that's that. You'll notice that the frame it's always symmetrical. We start in the center. Anything that happens on one side happens the opposite way on the other side. If you look at that, this one comes that way, that one comes that way. So if you just remember that, everything is symmetrical. If you're going to do it to one side, always do it to the other. You'll get a good pair of glasses. So once you have that done, you have that 180 degrees done that way, you'll pull them out, okay? And with the nose piece facing to the right, okay? Remember, this is the nose piece sticking out. That's going to face the right. You're going to put this end of the glasses in the end of the metal piece of the jig right here, okay? And it goes in, there's a little notch. This round piece right here, there's a little notch that goes on top of. You put that on it just like that, okay? It should fit in there nicely. And we're going to take this piece here and bend it 180 degrees all the way around to the other side. Remember, make sure your bends are sharp. I cannot reiterate that enough. So once you get it over there, you pick it up, keeping the nose piece to the right, and you're just going to do a quick 180 degree flip over like that. Same thing, this round piece right here is going to fit nicely on the middle of that metal piece there, and do another 180 degrees. Pull it out, and that's the front of your frame.